pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Good with that, Mr. Crouch?
I believe so. I went through the accounts payable.
Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
I
Liquor licenses.
None.
None. Public comment.
I just have a few questions. if I might.
Sure.
Okay, I've been recently looking at RDC, or RC, I don't know what you're calling it now, the development plan for the resource center,
Yes.
okay? And I just, Amber and Richard are both listed on the GRC redevelopment plan,
Mhm.
which is on the website that I went to find your agenda and your meeting.
Sure.
And then you have a link to it. And this plan, I find interesting, started in November of 2021.
Mhm.
But yet, the resource center staff and clients and the city people and the county people were not informed of the closing until April of 2022. Why would that be?
Might be a typo then.
That is
I don't think so.
not a supervisor thing either. We're not.
Lonnie and I have had no
Right.
knowledge.
Okay, well, I'm just.
And I'm
Because
problem.
Richard's on there and so
Yeah.
is Amber, and so it's like, well, you both are here, so
Yeah.
I don't know where
Yeah.
else to address
No,
it.
that's
We-
fine.
My
Yes, yeah.
emails sent have never been answered, and so it's kind of like, well, I need to talk to somebody about it.
Yes.
this was brought to us. Amber was appointed after who left?
No, I was one of the first
You were
for
the
the
first.
city.
Okay,
Yep.
for the city. And I was appointed as the one from the county. We was more or less asked to just listen, not to deliver much to the public because they didn't want a lot of questions coming back in, wanting to know. We're still not sure what all they're gonna do with it.
Well, I understand that, and that's my concern, because not only are we seeing an exodus of people who were employees up there, but now our school district is also seeing an exodus of students. They've lost over 94 students just for this upcoming year. And so funding for that is going to go down as well. So it's all, not all, but a lot of it is a financial thing, but all of what I just said is factual information. But then I was just informed this past week that, I don't know how to tactfully say it, so I'll try my best, but Mr. Kinkle, our local chiropractor, had been up and had been inside Lacey Hall, and we know that because of the cameras that were there and of the pictures that were taken. And I'm questioning that only because, oddly enough, his father-in-law, Larry Wyndham, is the CEO of the LLC that has been formed to, I guess, take over what's going to go on up there. And so then that brings me to my next question, because when I read Iowa code, the state is not supposed to give any state entity to a private organization. It is supposed to go to a governmental organization. So then I question the LLC and how that was formed and why that was formed and what we're doing from there. And if it's not a county issue, that's okay. I'll go to the city too. I don't have a problem.
Can I get your name?
Certainly, Susan Reed.
It's,
Reed,
Reed, R-E-E-D.
and then at some point, can I have a phone call with you and I will,
Certainly.
because
that
I
would
want to
be
go back
wonderful.
to the GRC group, make sure my information is factual, or have somebody from GRC group call you.
But the GRC group that is listed on that webpage, that, oh, by the way, has not been updated since March of 2023, which is 2 years ago almost, because we're in 2025 now. But there are persons listed on there that are no longer even associated with this area
Okay.
or the campus or anything else. So I just, I'm just questioning why, I mean, this is a vital component of our community.
I agree.
And we're not doing anything with it. And I know the state has extended their deadline to turn it over to July of this coming year, when it was supposed to be last year. And I also know there are still employees that are being paid up there, although some of them I'm not sure why. That's personal, but anyway, I'm questioning why we aren't seeing some type of planning or movement or whatever. And yes, I did attend the planning meetings, and yes, I did voice my opinions and things that, I won't call them my constituents because I'm not elected, but the people have said to me or have wondered or have questioned or have wanted to have happen. And, you know, when I'm sitting here as a lifetime resident of this community and seeing it go downhill, it's very disconcerting to me personally.
Right, and I can tell you that the LLC that was formed, we're not allowed to do anything until,
After July,
so that's why you're not seeing a whole lot happening, because we can't. But if you want to leave your number at the auditor desk, and then I will give you a call or send you an email, either way.
okay, that would be wonderful. I
Yep.
would appreciate that
Okay.
number because that's, you know, we really are.
Yep, and I think that email that HDR was at one point kind of monitoring that email, maybe they just aren't anymore. So I will reach out and figure that out.
Okay, so then the only other question I would have is, then there is no information to update, so the public should be told that.
Okay.
And should be told that, hey, we don't take over till July of 2025, which they may not know that. And so then that would stop the questions, the concerns,
Okay.
you know, the people that are talking to me, at least they would
Okay.
then tell me, you know what, oh, you're being called out.
I see that.
Okay, all right,
See, I thought I did.
You must have flunked.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I will, I take some of those concerns back to the GRC LLC, and then, I can chat with you as well.
And then with the LLC, because you know, and I'm sorry I'm taking up you guys.
No,
No, you're fine.
no,
It's fine.
no.
Okay,
It's a big deal.
since you are still a part of that, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So the LLC, my question would be, how do people go about becoming a part of that board so that their opinions can be made known and or they can be informed of what is or is not going to take place up there? Because I don't know if any of you are aware of it or not, but I think it's 113, might be 114. One of the buildings up there, the roof is falling in on. And that is because of lack of maintenance over the time period that it was there. And see, it wasn't used to house clients for years and years, because I haven't worked up there for, I don't know, I taught for 20 years. So it's been over 35 years since I've worked up there. And those used to be client buildings, and they weren't when we built the houses and we moved the clients out to the houses. But then they were turned into buildings to be utilized by maintenance, or our Can Redemption Center was in one. And I mean, there were uses for all of them. Public health was in one for a while. And, but the fact of the matter is that, those buildings are being left unmaintained, and they are falling down before our eyes, which then brings in, oh my gosh, all the asbestos and stuff that's left in them, and ocean. I mean, the city's gonna have to pay for that. And we already don't have the finances to pay for some of the things that we want to do. So it's a real problem.
I
And I don't know. Go ahead.
I can tell you, we have been pushing as a group to get a hold of this sooner, and the state, they finally put out a date, July 1 of 2025. We finally got them pushed to that date. We would have liked to have had it at the end of the year here, or back in September, October. And we'd ask and you wouldn't hear anything. We'd ask, we wouldn't hear anything. And then
Right.
we finally kind of, I don't know how you could say, I guess, just put the corner on the governor and said, okay, tell your people when we can do this. We have to know. We have to get things arranged for the school coming in and some other things to get done so they can be open this fall. Oh, that was kind of the answer we got. So here's where we're setting. I mean, there's some things going on up there. I'm not at liberty to administer right now, but there are some, I guess I can say, electrical things like that they have been working on, trying to see where they can come in the most efficient way and stuff. Some things are being done, but that's about as far as I can go with what's being done. And that's for Glen Haven, the school.
On Life still up there?
No,
No, they moved
Right
out for a
now,
while.
that's the only two we're working with. We would like to see some other buildings, myself, would like to see some other buildings hooked up as we're doing this. Whether it will be done or not, I don't know.
well, that would be the most prudent use of funding, I believe. I mean, if you did it all. Thank you. I like your facials because it's like, no, but there are things that definitely need to be looked at and done. But you do have a community that is up in arms because they have lost a major,
So send me more letters.
so.
Did she get, did you get her cell phone?
I'm gonna have her leave it at the desk so that way she doesn't have to say it
It's not on
on
record.
camera.
No, we didn't, but yeah, so.
Thank you, too.
No, as soon as we know something, it will be put out to the public to hear, but
We've been in
the
a holding
state
pattern.
has been very critical of us, saying anything, so.
Well, thank you for entertaining me.
No, thanks for
course.
coming in. Always, the door's always open.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And leave yours out
Yes,
here.
yes,
All right,
please.
got it.
Thank you.
Committee updates. I did not have anything last week.
At the Board of Health, had to make some very, very heart-wrenching changes, but they had to legally be done. They had to be done in a way so that people could continue to have home health services and we could take care of the elderly here in Mills County. It was a very hard night, but I appreciate the leadership that was shown by those remaining in public health. I appreciate the leadership that was shown by all of our Board of Health members. No supervisor wanted this to happen. I appreciate the other supervisors coming along and being there as well to make sure that they're informed. And it was unfortunate, but it had to be done. And that was all.
I too attended Board of Health, probably one of the most disheartening meetings I've been to in a long time, but I think everyone in attendance knew what was going to be taking place. There's a lot of misinformation still floating around, but eventually it will get answered. The other meeting I attended was Veterans Affairs. It's always a nice group to be associated with. We're still climbing in members. Jumped about $100,000 a month in income, actual cash income from all the veterans in Mills County. We're pushing close to $1.2 million now coming in monthly from the veterans. Talked a little bit about budget, but I said, well, they said they was a little bit over. I said, we just have to wait and see how it works out.
Mr. Farrell.
Only have general discussion items today, but a number of them. Pass those around. That's just kind of explanation of the budget I submitted. Just kind of get that to you guys ahead of time to review. Looking at the coming fiscal year, equipment and different construction and maintenance projects that we intend to complete with some associated dollar values attached to them.
Perfect.
Let's review that and we'll discuss whenever we have our budget meeting.
Thanks for bringing this big.
Been a while since I came to you guys for asking for money, so it's
Yeah,
about
it's been a good week or
about
two.
due.
Yeah.
So that's what the rest of this will be about. Looking to purchase a new large skid loader. We got 3 quotes from John Deere, Bobcat, and Cat. This is something we had budgeted. It was in that sheet for last fiscal year. We had budgeted $80,000 for it. We got quotes Basically 100,000, 110, and 125,000. John Deere being the cheapest. We demoed that at our last safety meeting. The guys liked it. I had nothing bad to say about it. So I think we want to go ahead and pull the trigger on it. Bobcat did come back, took some options off and re-quoted us, and they're basically right at the John Deere level. But we have a good working relationship. John Deere, good service. They're right
Local.
here in Mills County. So we would like to go ahead and go with that one.
How much?
And the total for that is $104,289. This would be the largest skid loader we would get, or that we would have in our fleet, bigger than the we have currently. And if you recall, the reason for getting such a big one is to handle the capacity for our forestry heads. So if in the future we decide to purchase that, we already have the machine to do it.
And it is a budgeted item?
We budgeted 80,000 for it, so this is over. But I did want to bring to you guys' attention some other things that we were under budget on for the current fiscal year was our wheeled excavator. We had 420,000 budgeted. We spent 381,000 on that. And then we had 60,000 budgeted for our IRM truck, and we spent 39,000. So we have in our equipment budget lower on some other stuff, and then this is a little bit higher, but that was
In your budget.
Next, we received 2 quotes from HGM on design for 2 bridges. Now, basically $62,500 for each bridge. This is 215th Street Bridge.
62.5 each.
Basically, yeah. And it's billed hourly, but that is a not to exceed. And then the other one's Painter Road, so down by Cheryl Dash. These are bridges that are in need of replacement. They're beyond repair at this point. This is budgeted in next fiscal year, so it's in that sheet that I gave you guys. Design contracts are always weird because they're billed as they work on it, and so I would like to get them on board so that we can do construction of this next winter. So in over a year from now. So there might be a little bit of that money in this current fiscal year, but then the winter can do that. Should be sure.
Let them do winter work is the way to go too. You said that.
So would like to get them going on that design. So is there proposals for that? I would like to bring to you guys next coming weeks, next week or after. Also want to get a consultant on L63 as kind of that one's supposed to be let next year. Construction. L63 south out of Malvern, so city limits going down to Paddock Ave, so 4 mile. Do an overlay through there. We have that. That's been on the construction 5-year plan. It was when I got here, so over 3 years we've had it in the works. I took it back to our RPA team and got additional funding. So we have 1.25 million coming from STBG, and then we have our farm to market account paying for the other portion, and then we also submitted our department for a grant to the state to hopefully receive $500,000 also from that.
Okay.
So I want to get the design going on that, especially it being a federal project. There's a lot more.
Blacktop or white stuff over there?
Blacktop. So I'm looking at, I met with Beanstra and Kim. They combined with Calhoun and Burns, if you guys know them. Big company. I've never worked with them, but Rick, you guys know Rick, he moved to that company. I get along really well with Rick. One thing I know about him, he has really good contacts, and he's also treats you right. When he was at Olteg, I was having some issues with getting things turned in on time. Once he found out about it, I mean, he made it right away. So they're going to put together a proposal. So I haven't seen any numbers with that, but then would like to, if they're within, proper
Full 24-foot overlay.
24 foot. Yeah. Our ordinance says that anytime we rehab, it has to go to 24 foot.
Okay.
So that's the minimum we do. Most of our roads are 22 foot. And if you put in the plans as far as 1 foot on each side to make it 24 foot, Once a contractor gets the contract, they'll say, no, our bill only does 2 foot minimum, so it ends up being 26. So we just put it in the plans now. We actually make them 26 foot wide.
It won't hurt anything.
We paint 1 foot in, so basically you get a foot of paved
Well, I
shoulder.
thought that was for the bicycle people.
Yeah. Better be a skinny guy on a skinny bike. So once we get some numbers with that, I'll bring that to you guys as well.
Good. It takes a beating.
Last thing, wanted to circle back to, I believe it was Mike Bowden, 240th Street. He was concerned about the speed limit out there. We found the original resolution, which was 2011. The speed limit's there. He was saying that there's no speed limit coming south in. And then once you turn south on 240th Street, there's no 45 mile an hour speed limit sign until you get up past.
The speed limit's already set, then you're saying?
So you want to go to it? It's kind of a weird deal. Okay, so that's the church there, right? Basically, right there, heading north, 45 mile an hour sign. And then that's our last sign on that road.
Okay.
But coming south, we have a 45 mile an hour sign basically right in there for the south part.
Okay.
And so he was saying when you come south off Gaston, there's a good almost 3,300 feet that there's no 45 mile an hour sign. So people are going fast there, especially by his house. And so we thought, okay, we need to add another sign up there. From the original resolution, that is how it was mapped out, the way it's signed.
Okay.
Which is weird because basically we have northbound traffic supposed to be 45 and southbound 55. So that's kind of unusual the way this is mapped out. So 2 things we could do is at the end of the 45 mile an hour, we could put a sign up that says 55 mile an hour, which is basically unwritten. This is what it shows, but we could make that so it's known. Or we'd have to do a new resolution making that entire stretch 45 mile an hour. So we have 2 options. But basically the way it is signed right now is technically correct. We're not missing a sign. Or was it missigned?
Okay.
But that's kind of the situation that was out there. I know he was asking if we should put one up.
Sure. Any of the neighbors can visit about that or
Just that one,
sign a
there's
petition or?
I don't think there's any other house right just up at the end on the corner.
Yeah, just on the corner there.
Yeah, and they
3,
haven't
4.
said anything,
Okay.
reached out.
Maybe you can get us some signatures. I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those deals with the speed limit. You know, it's are they going to follow it? Probably not. But
You're
On the end, Greg.
Yeah, both ends. One does one and one does another one.
Now, the other
Did I get
set,
it? I get, oh, no, I was in the way.
Yep.
All right, I'll give it to you now.
so yeah, I just want to update you on that. And I know there was a question if it was signed properly. For the resolution, it is signed properly. We could change that to a new
Okay.
resolution if we wanted, or put up 55 mile an hour to signify to people that yes, you can increase your speed
Okay.
after this. So,
Okay.
so yeah, that's what I have for you all today.
That was easy.
Right.
Thank you,
Anything
sir.
for me?
I don't think so. What did you said 230th?
Oh yeah. So looking at right away, 230th on that. Go up to Elrod.
Oh, I know where you're talking.
North. I think Elrod is a little
Right in here or farther up?
go up more.
This was extra right away when they did the final plat here, so I know that's widened.
Right there.
Right here?
That corner. So
Yes. This was a subdivision that was done and Steve DeVries was the engineer.
mhm.
And he wanted to straighten this out. So the extra right of way was dedicated to here. So this is correct.
Okay.
Per the final plat of this,
Mhm.
but nothing was done up here.
And it was to straighten that out,
What's that?
to actually straighten that road out.
Yeah, but now you have two houses in here.
Yeah. So it's that house
This one?
down low. They have all that right away there and they want to build a shop. So you're familiar with this one, but they don't have the proper setbacks
Right?
because of the right of way. So they want, hey, can you give some of this right of way back? I've talked with the DOT. They told me the process. Basically, we can release it
Yes.
and then they can come in and claim it, but they have to be very sure that they have the fee title for it.
Yes, we would have to.
Sometimes ownership can change, but
It
that
was done
doesn't.
by easement also. These owners actually own to the center of the road still. So this is all
That's
done by
why
easement.
we don't sell it or anything. We just basically, if
Give it
we do
back.
abandonment,
Yeah, it would go back to the original.
but he said he needs to very stress to people that just because you live there, you might not be the actual owner by fee title of that because of the easement. It might actually be 2 or 3 owners back. And so then when we abandon it and then they come in and claim it, they actually can't claim it. The paperwork didn't follow them. So he said,
The easement travels with the ground.
he says you just have to be very careful. Or they have to be very sure that they have it because he has seen them. That's all he does at work. And he says,
The state guy? Yeah.
and he works
This
this
one,
local.
the easements travel with the ground. This is not done by fee title. It was done by easement. So
Yeah, he
we could vacate it.
We can, he said, but for them, it doesn't affect the county at all. We can abandon it.
Yeah.
But sometimes when that person goes to claim it, the easement never got transferred properly and it's still 2 owners back.
The easement was done for the final plat, though, so it
Okay.
would stay with
So
the,
it should
it
be
would stay with the
Should
property. Yes.
They would have to be sure. But
Yeah.
when I look at the
The
road
station had
plat,
anything to do with this.
no, he was telling me the process,
Sure.
just walking me through the steps. Yeah. But the road plat shows it on that section here.
Probably
It's
does.
just a 90.
Probably wasn't
90.
updated.
Yeah. So it doesn't even show this.
Right. If you pull up this final plat, Iowa, it'll show the right of way.
Okay.
And that was dedicated to Mills County by us. So Mills County is the owner of the easement. So Mills County could relinquish the easement.
So he said the process basically is have the landowner, they do a plat of survey and then make sure that they have that fee title for the easement.
Yes, sir.
Once they have all that,
It'd be a procedure through
and
us
then
by
we would do
resolution.
resolution to abandon it. They go in and claim it.
Yep.
Yep. So,
I'd rather see it that way than messing with this house and trying to put a highway right in front of it.
yeah, really.
It was a
At this
good
point,
idea
it
at the
wouldn't
time,
work,
but
yeah.
the DeVries wanted to straighten this out in several
Yeah.
spots. If you go back to fly right by it.
That curve right there, wasn't it?
If you were arranging right in here,
Yeah,
yeah, this one.
because it's a crest of a hill there.
Yes.
And that one's, yeah.
Yeah, this is the one, South Garden Acres. This actually is the same situation.
The main problem there is people just go too fast.
You're exactly right.
And they
Yeah.
flying over that.
Yeah. There's no gravel road that's under seal code, and the drive starts not.
Yeah.
So we have these guys.
Okay.
Good.
All right, I will tell her that's processed and basically make sure she has that and then she can do,
Yep.
pick that survey if she wants to do this.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Mr. Schultz.
I got a couple of things, pretty simple as well. The first is I'd like to request approval to hire my deputy vacancy. I think I spoke a couple weeks ago. We had one letter of resignation come in to go work for the out-of-state patrol. We've gone through the process through civil service to create a list. We've got a list. I'd like to hire that number one off that list, but I need your approval to do so.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
We have a motion and a second to approve the hire of the new deputy vacancy. Any discussion? Who would that be?
Can I say it out loud yet?
Why?
We haven't made an offer yet. He needs approval to hire before he can make an offer.
All those in favor?
I,
Second thing,
MOU?
yep, MOU. A couple years ago, we went through the process of changing the hours. The deputies are working to try and make it more conducive for them with the time off and all the good stuff that went with it. We signed into this contract the MOU. So this MOU, this memo of understanding would continue that. We did an annual renewal. I made a mistake. I thought it was something that I could sign, but you guys need to sign it.
Right.
You need to sign it with approval of the rest of the board. So I've come to you, and we've also done, meeting with Mr. Galloway. We're going to write this through the end of the contract rather than do an annual renewal, because the contract goes for another 2 years from July 1, we'll go through July 1 of 2027. That way we're not having to go through this annually. The deputies seem to like it. It's a good work schedule for them.
Okay.
So they have no arguments. But what it would be is we just give us the opportunity then with this MOU to run it through the end of the contract versus on an annual basis.
Sure.
Mike rewrote the language from what has been done in the past. So it would be just like an extension of what we've been doing, but then follow the rules and do it according to the contract.
Okay.
And then those are Jolene's notes on there. So that's the original for you to sign.
Okay.
And then just grab that to Amber and she can.
This has been through legal.
Been through Mike and Jolene.
Okay.
So I assume it's something, this is basically just the exact same language.
Sure.
Had the last couple of years. It's just the changing to rather than going annual renewal through the end of the contract.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the MOU, and it's really going to continue through the end of the contract that we have in place now.
June 30, 2027.
I'll second that.
You have a motion and a second to approve the deputy MOU. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
I,
You mean to go grab Melissa?
If you would, that'd be great.
Thank you.
Mike's coming downstairs. He's not here now, is he?
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
Her.
she can sign it, hand it back to him.
There's another one, Lonnie. Two.
Morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Hello. Semi-annual report.
Yes. So I have a couple of them. The long and the short that come for December's month end. And then the other one that is the July through December. We had Amber sign all of them. I don't know if I'm sure on the
Nope,
process
nope,
here.
you're good. Semi-annual report is the first one, Melissa,
Okay.
so. Would someone want to, you say you looked at those?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
You sent them out to our emails too, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
and I
So
think
I
that
got a
was-
chance to look at them already.
Was selected, so, or requested that we be able to see those.
Mr. John, I have a question for you. Being this is my niece. How do I just abstain from voting?
Well,
I think
it's,
you should
it's,
be able to vote on this.
yeah, it's
Just
about
when
county
we're-
financials.
If you were gonna hire her, I could see that or something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I just,
You'll be fine.
I'd like to have that stipulated in a minute. that Mr. John said it was okay to vote.
Just to clarify, you have no pecuniary or financial interest in this?
Okay,
No?
Take that as a no job.
That was my question.
No,
Yeah,
he
he had
asked
a
you a
question.
question
You
too.
have no pecuniary or financial interest in that?
Well, having you already sent it out to us, I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's semi-annual report.
I will second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the treasurer's semi-annual report. Is there any discussion? Thank you for sending that out to you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. December financial report.
Yes. So at the end of each month, we do our interest and everything along those lines. Carol checked them for us before. Main purpose is we have to have somebody who's not in the banking to be able to do that. So Lonnie, I believe
I can do
you
that.
are a person.
I can do that.
If you have questions, let me know. But I believe I think what Carol did is went through those, made sure everything matched. What I've written on the front of it is our miscellaneous receipt for that interest.
Okay.
And then my initials and everything, and I believe you date and initial it as well, the auditors.
Each one of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, and they're divided out by accounts. Bank statements are on top, and then the reports are on the back.
Okay.
Go with those, but I believe you just put your initials on there and date it, that it's okay, and
Okay.
that's what the auditors trust them with.
Okay. I don't know if we've ever acted on this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we need an action item. Sorry about that.
Okay,
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
That's no problem. If we don't have to, then we'll just table this one.
You don't even need to table it. I'll just make it in the minutes that,
I will get these right back to you at the end of the meeting.
At your convenience
Yes.
when you're ready. Do I leave these with you, the ones that are signed? I'm not entirely sure. And can look
I don't know.
notes on what I do.
Yeah, I'm not sure with
I
the
know one of
semi-annual
them
ones.
Goes to Alyssa for the paper, but.
They're approved, so as long as they get to the.
They probably
the right place.
need to be in your files more than mine, would be my thought.
I'll look for minutes. But I think they go with our month end stuff,
Mhm.
so,
I think they do too now, you said that.
yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
That is it, thank you.
Thanks, ma'am.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Approval to advertise for building and zoning administrator. Somebody want to fill me in on this?
Well, we have a contract with Mr. Matt
Yeah.
and stuff, and I think that, we should be, as a county, maybe be getting our own building and zoning administrator, and maybe they could run the whole office, having a lady there, part-time, who would be there part-time. It's just a suggestion, folks. I'm not that you've done great work for us, Matt. We're not dissatisfied or anything, but sometimes we like to stand on our own 2 feet.
And this would be different than what we had with GAS, right, or GAW?
I believe we still have a policy and stuff,
February, I think it ended in February now.
February 15th is when the current agreement ends on it.
Yeah.
And so the only thing that, and I've been happy with it too. I think it's been going really well.
We've seen that with the two speaking with her.
Yeah, Audra's been great to work with. This last year, we were able to accomplish getting land use plan finalized through. You got chapter 27, which was the zoning ordinance updated to go along with that. We still, so I'm a little bit, feel like I have work left to do here, which is we need to get the building ordinance updated and finalized to meet what Mills County is doing right now. And then also we have the subdivision ordinance that needs to be updated and have the planning commission written back into it. So then that way you guys have an appointed planning commission that can review those subdivision plattings and things like that ahead of time before they get to you all and give their recommendation on it. And then lastly is would be just to finish working with the auditor's office and getting the parcel splits and subdivision processes down for the residents. Remember, I know it doesn't seem like we've had any requests here as much lately, but when I first came in, it was kind of a pretty hot topic with the board having a number of residents coming in wanting to know how to split up their land, and they either weren't getting responded to, or they were kind of being held off on there. So just to get a land split way to where you can explain it to a resident, this is where you can start with, this is the criteria for it to go through. Those are kind of the things that I feel like had left to finish up, and was hoping to be able to work with you guys through next year on. I can respect too if you can be able to get somebody in here. But my part of it is just making sure that I'm able to. We know when we came in, I also wanted to just make sure we got the office up to a standard where you could hire somebody and not have them be immediately overwhelmed by the number of things that went through.
Seems to be running pretty smoothly. I have not heard much
No, I haven't either.
engagement, so it's nice. Good news, good news on that.
So that's kind of my update for you. Obviously, it's all up to you guys, but if you want to give it one more year and get these last pieces put in place, or if you want to go out now.
What do you think, guys?
Well, I think we ought to I think did the ad go out last week or not, or did we have to put it on in here first?
Yeah, you have to have approval first.
Okay. I think we ought to advertise, see if anything or anybody in the immediate area, is interested. It doesn't hurt anything, because we never know if Matt's gonna be able to stick around and stuff. We hope he is and things, but if something happens, I'd much rather have kind of a list or some people that are interested, in doing the job, so. Just my opinion, folks.
Mr. Sayers, what do you think?
I think you talked a lot about things that you still want to get accomplished. I know writing planning and zoning commission back into subdivisions is something that, in my opinion, needs to be done. It needs to be done fast. I don't know how we got to where we are, but that needs to be corrected. I understand what Mr. Crouch is saying with, what's the harm in advertising just to see? And I'll be honest with you, Matt, I'm not opposed to you staying for another year at all. But what needs to happen is if we get somebody that even applies to the job, they need to understand that, they are going to have to do a lot, especially in that first couple of months. There's going to be a lot that they have to try and get accomplished, and a lot that's going to be expected of them. So, but with that, there's nothing, I don't have any reservations with you staying around. So I think you're doing a great job as currently. I have yet to see anyone complain about the work you or Audra are doing.
No, we've had nothing but improvements. I'd still like to see, having someone of our own person hired to do it. That's just my opinion.
What do you think, Bonnie?
I enjoy working with Matt. I think him and Audra have done a good job. They're much better than what we've had in the past, and it seems to be going pretty smooth. So I'm happy with what we have now. Another employee would be another cost, even though he's not free. It would be more expensive to hire someone else. So,
How much, if you don't mind me asking, per month?
it's illegal.
Was it?
Per
Yeah.
month, so he can go.
Yeah,
Per month,
it was 62.
6250. Yeah,
62.
it goes out to be $75,000 a year for
Okay.
the zoning administration pieces of that.
And how much were
Your salary would probably be there, and any sort of benefit.
benefits and stuff like that?
So it's definitely not costing us money, or costing us any more money. So
And it is, it's written into the budget, and I don't know if you all have had an opportunity to see those yet or not, but there is funds in the budget, because when John and I originally worked up the service agreement in there, we put a 30-day clause on it, so then that way the board wouldn't have to go and do a budget amendment if at some point in time the candidate comes in and like, we're going to go with that person, and the funds are there. So, and I said, that I just wanted to get it to a comfortable point to where it wasn't so overwhelming to a person, because you start to have, in this position, if you don't have consistency in it, you start to have a lot of turn.
When we took over, there were things that weren't done well over 2.5 years, so I'm glad you brought us up to speed. Got us back. My goal was to make this an income producing department, and it is. So,
Yeah, we definitely want it
Nice.
to be user-based.
yes, yes. Sheriff didn't make us much money. Jared didn't make us much money, so it's nice to at least have one office that breaks even. Or in the black. So we got a motion on this, or?
Well, I didn't know how to put it on there, just
No, that's
discuss
fine.
or
Yeah. it's-
approve or whatever,
It's good to visit about it, get everyone on the same page.
Lord, I mean, we've talked about it, we can table it,
Yeah.
whatever you guys want to do.
I'm all for tabling it until a further date.
Want to table it?
Good enough?
Yep.
Good. We've seen the same that your contract ends in February.
Yeah, February 15th, so
Come back.
it'll be time to come back in.
Right.
I don't see any changes then.
Good.
I think it's going really well.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, sir.
Do you want to stick around
Wait
just
minute,
for a
Matt,
second?
Did you put the next one on? I didn't.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I should stick around for that.
I put it on because of the email I got back from Lonnie stating that, so I just put it on the agenda hoping that you guys have conversations, decide what you want to do.
Matt and I visited about this a while ago, but why don't you just?
Yeah, Audrey had been asking me, so when she came back over to building and zoning, she took a little bit of a reduction in pay for that. And then, it was said at the time, 6 months, right? What the policy for most counties, you need 6 months or something. Probationary period when they come out of that, and then they were gonna move her back up to it. But, when around that time came and I was asking about how do we go about this, how do we get this done? And it was, well, you have to go through the board, because she's an employee of the board.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to make sure you set that up and got her pay increase for that portion of it.
And that's already budgeted, like you said.
Correct, there is funds in the budget for it, it's not, definitely not anything you guys can ask for more money or anything for it. But the money is there.
Do you have an idea of the salary that she would be moving her to?
22.26 an hour,
22.26 an hour?
Yep.
What's she at now?
1976.
1976.
Mhm.
But she's a great employee.
She's worth it.
You can't say enough good things about what she does. I mean, even whether it's technical ability, working with the iWork system, which is the online permitting system. She got that, worked with the vendor, got that all up and available for the residents of it. The sheer amount of paperwork that she's been able to go through and reduce down and get put in a indexed fashion for the office into the next people that come along, they'll be able to pull those boxes off and find the paperwork that they need to do. So I think overall she's just really great for the Mills County staff. Definitely an asset.
What do you think, gentlemen?
I'm fine with it, if you need a motion to approve her to this, 22-26, right?
Mhm.
I'm fine with that. I mean, she's been there, I don't know, how many months she's been there now? 8?
Fully great.
She's very good at holding her own. If she has a little bit of an argument with somebody, I've watched her work, very smooth about it and things. So, and people, I believe most of the contractors and stuff really respect her. She's probably got a cell phone she answered, and I think it's worked out well. I really do.
Good communication.
I'll make a motion to remove Audrey Kruger from probation and increase her pay to $22.26 an hour for the building and zoning clerk position.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? My discussion is, it's worth keeping a good employee, so I'm all for it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
We'll see you.
now you can leave.
See you guys.
Don't
Sorry,
speak.
Matt.
Right, we're getting closer, aren't we?
Or we get a,
I see Mike is here.
Yeah, he's in the auditor's office. Last time I checked. So you're not going until Wednesday or?
No, I'll drive up Tuesday night.
Oh,
I
just
probably,
late.
I probably won't get there till 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how long I'm actually see
I'll
it.
get there in time. For Dan, they'll get there in time. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm driving up. I think I'm gonna leave it on Tuesday. Yeah, that's tomorrow. I'm on tractor to the Capitol tomorrow morning. Talk with a couple people on. Do we have anything Tuesday? We don't have anything Tuesday night for ISAC. It's just Wednesday morning.
We still on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys talked about put on morning supper. I won't make that.
Yeah, that's coming.
But I don't know what, I guess I haven't even looked at the agenda for our meetings on Wednesday and Thursday. Did they provide lunch? We have supper, or good meals?
I thought they provided maybe an
Let me
evening
look.
meal. I mean, even if we could try and eat with each other that
Yeah.
Wednesday
Yeah.
evening, I'm fine.
I think that there's, Page County Sheriff is a new sheriff, they'll be there.
Oh,
Union County Sheriff, new sheriff, they'll be there. So there'll be a couple of new sheriffs down there that we're gonna at some point try to connect with, but we can do that after hours. Brian Bolton, Union County Sheriff. Charles Robson, he's Page County.
okay.
Took a little while, we decided, so.
So let's see, Wednesday. It looks like lunch is provided. And also dinner might be provided as well.
We're gonna have our schedule on
And then,
Schedule for what?
Wednesday and Thursday.
Thursday, I gotta be back for 911.
and it looks like
We have some
lunch
things for-
also might be provided on Thursday. Lunch also on Thursday.
Okay.
It's part of the agenda, so my assumption is it's provided as part of the training.
Conference board at 5 or 6 on Thursday. 5:30.
I
6 o'clock. So,
I have 5.
What do you get?
Conference.
Yeah, I have.
You're-
I think I need to be here Thursday night at 6 to make it 1.
For the 911, isn't that? Is 911 or communications or
Okay,
communications, okay.
I'm about that type of stuff. I'm gonna just sit down and have a talk with you about the,
Yeah, this
EMS
did have
accident.
agenda at one time.
There's some interesting stuff that I didn't know until I met with someone last week, so. There's a few things I wanna go over. I'm sure I haven't talked to Mark yet,
Lots
but
of
I
fun.
think it's gonna come
Both.
Yeah, so I think we're good.
here soon. Why don't you approve it that way? EMS levy will probably come to us sometime this year.
Come to us? Or will we
Maybe we'll be able to put it on the ballot. This is what I've been told.
I'm not aware of that. I know EMS says they're, oh, you mean for rescue? Yes, I know they talked about it. I don't know that I didn't hear it was set in stone yet, but I know that's been on and off for the last
what's that?
EMS coming to.
We'll just have to talk about it a little bit more.
Uh,
Before it comes.
when's our next election? Ma'am.
Maybe
I can't get here
Um,
soon enough to make mine, but I will.
County election will be in November of 26,
got our.
I believe.
Do you have to know you're off?
Well, I'll make a motion to go into closed session at 8:59. Somebody second it so I can make coffee.
I'll second it.
There you go. Motion and a second to into closed session per Iowa Code Chapter 20.17-3, negotiating sessions, strategy meetings for public employers, mediation, and the deliberative process of arbitrators shall be exempt from the provisions of Chapter 21. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. You good?
All right. Oh, what you gonna do about the other guy? What happened to him?
I'm going to get water. We can make our coffee. I'm sure he'll be right back.
Can you grab them?
No, the officer.
Going to closed session.
Mr. Wyatt.
Aye.
I'm sure that we could-
You're